Bagat about this event. And to be honest, I even was not aware that EU funding was used in this way in Pakistan, which was very interesting. I'm working for the ECHO office, which ECHO stands for the humanitarian part of EU. As you probably know, European Commission has several Directorate General, and kind of you can compare it with ministries in Pakistan. And one is for humanitarian aid and civil protection, and nowadays it's for crisis management as well. And we have one office here in Islamabad, which covers Iran as well as Pakistan. And I know personally VSO for a very long time. Over the last 30 years, I've been in many countries where I meet VSO colleagues. Often, if I think about VSO, I'm thinking about an organization very much focused on people, with lots of people from different backgrounds, providing all sorts of support, working in all sorts of contexts, sometimes even working in very remote rural areas, complicated areas. I've met in different countries people that do excellent work in, for example, remote schools as a teacher. I saw people, engineers and technical work, you name it, very, very diverse. And I'm happy to see also here a wide variety of people, even from different provinces. And I'm happy to see that it's not just an Islamabad event, but that it is much broader as Islamabad only. This particular project, then I had a look at the internet as well to see what it is about, how it fits in, because sometimes our headquarters and in Brussels there's many different contracts, and now this one is also a big contract with VSO. It covers 6 countries, and one of them is Pakistan. So I'm happy to see that VSO is, since a few years I know already, VSO is involved in resilience, capacity building, disaster response, disaster preparedness, and I think it's a very, very useful field. If I think about Pakistan now, I have the privilege that for 2 years I was able to travel in different areas in Pakistan, and I think unfortunately some disasters happen, and I'm thinking about especially the earthquake in 2005, the floods in 2010, and it comes into my mind also when I think about my own experience. I was in many different countries. I was sent by the organization I was working for. These disasters are very overwhelming, and the first thing, of course, if we can do something to prevent the impact, is the first step. Secondly, I think what is very important, if it happens, that we know how to respond to it. And I'm very glad with here that I saw in the program as well that NDMA representative will come to share about Pakistan. I saw also an OCHA representative will come, because I'm telling often to government representatives in countries when they talk about disaster prevention and when they talk about response, that when a disaster happens, it is already a disaster for everybody. But if you are not prepared and to deal with like foreigners who come and aid from all sorts of areas, they come and everybody wants to help you. If you are not prepared for that, you may end up in a second disaster of confusion and frustration. Well, at the same time, you have so much of capacity and so much of knowledge, technical knowledge, willingness, people to help. So the better you are prepared for that, the more easy it goes and the more optimal you can use everybody's skills. I always say that the host government on national level, on provincial level, on district level should be very prepared that if disaster happens, that they take the lead and that they can make clear to everybody how the people that come from outside, how they fit in, how the situation is handled, how the local government is working, what the culture is, that you know the language that you speak, can speak with people that are affected. Not that somebody from the capital just come in and start directing around everybody in a way as he or she thinks is good, but that from local perspective, that you know what to do, and that you are also able to communicate to outsiders saying, we are very happy with your help, thank you for coming, but we expect you to work in this area. It can be a village, can be maybe a technical sector, it can be some people are in water sanitation, other people are in construction, some people are in just education, whatever it is, but the local people, I'm a strong believer in that it should come from bottom up, that the normal knowledge, what everybody has already, that they take the lead and that they have a strong voice in how we should recover from a disaster and how we are going to work together. If it is somebody from outside coming, you often see that things are not moving in the right direction because they come with their background and it does not always fit with the local situation. And especially I've seen it in some countries that foreigners come in with a different perspective from their background, and they come and tell how we should respond, how we should work. And I think the stronger the country is organized, the better you are able to make use of their experience, use of their knowledge, everything, and the better it goes. Otherwise, they have the tendency to take over, and it becomes a big confusion, and nobody is helped by that situation. So I think I saw the program. I believe it is a very useful program. I'd like to thank you for inviting me and informing me about it, because I think we should stay also very much in touch with the European Union. We are very much interested also to see how progress is going here in this area. I'm also happy with, for example, I see lots of connections, and if I see people from Lahore or from Peshawar, we are also involved in different other initiatives. I see people from Islamic Relief, for example. We have ongoing connection as ECHO with Islamic Relief as well. And when a disaster happens, you need everybody on board to work together. And if you know each other already, it is much easier than if you just start with somebody from scratch. Then let me see if I more or less, yeah. So just one thing about systems and way of working together. Things like data collection, who is responsible for what, information sharing, how the government is working, how the national system is working, how the provincial system, district system, how OCHA can help, for example, from the international perspective, how others can fit in. I think that is very important that NDMA, for example, should be able to make linkages with outside very easily, because it's their work. And I hope that you can find good ways how the capacities in your organization and with all the volunteers, how that can be connected to the whole system, so that we all work in a collective effort in a very smooth way together. And I'm sure it is a very interesting topic. And I'm sure that all of you bring very valuable experience from your area, experience from the past. I think many of you have experienced even firsthand disasters, even in Pakistan, I believe, because I often meet people and say, yeah, oh, you mean this and that, but when the earthquake happened or something like that, and basically they have more experience than me, because they know firsthand how devastating it was, and how everybody was in a very chaotic situation. And in the beginning you feel overwhelmed, and you are very much in a situation that you don't know where to start, because it's such a massive need. And I've been myself a few times in such a situation, and if you have people, they know where to start and how to work, the sooner you can start in a constructive way, the better it is. And I believe that workshops like this, trainings like this, will give a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience to everybody already, to make sure that you can start as soon as possible in a very effective way. So in that sense, happy to see VSO with all volunteers and everybody here together. Unfortunately, I have today a very full day of all sorts of meetings. Normally I don't wear a suit, I try to avoid,
but after that I have some meeting I can't afford. I maybe if I get the opportunity, I would like to come back maybe tomorrow for a few minutes to see how things are going. Today, unfortunately, I have to rush to another event, but I would like to wish you a very good and also pleasant training, where you have a very fruitful exchange, can learn many new things, and I hope it will at the end be a very successful event, and I'm sure with so many people around here who have all their own backgrounds, it will be successful event, inshallah. And I wish you a very fruitful training, and with all the others coming and the program, I hope it all will go smoothly, and that you will then go back in a very satisfied way with what you have learned. So thank you very much.
Thank you.